Hi, my name is Nicholas, and I'm going to talk to you about acid reflux. First off, what is acid reflux? And secondly, how I stopped my acid reflux. Let's get started. Hi, I'm going to talk to you about acid reflux. Two causes of acid reflux. First one being a transient or permanent change in the barrier between the esophagus and the stomach, which is this area here. And the second one being a hiatus hernia. Now that is caused by protrusion of the upper part of the stomach into the thorax through a tear or weakness in the diaphragm. There's a diaphragm and the stomach then pushes up into the thorax, and this causes the sphincter to relax, and stomach acid gets pushed into the esophagus. Now the first one, stomach acid pushing into the esophagus because of the transient changes, can cause damage to the esophagus. The same with a hiatus hernia. Both of them cause stomach acid to be pushed into the esophagus over here. And the stomach acid then causes little sores to form on the esophagus, which can later on become very bad if not treated. So that's the first thing that can really cause you a lot of discomfort and problems into the future if you don't treat this. Um, the main treatments for the transient change, where the sphincter relaxes and stomach acid gets pushed into the esophagus, is lifestyle changes. Now, from personal experience, and I've suffered with acid reflux for a long time, not anymore though, because I've made a lot of changes, is stress. For me, that was a big culprit, and that causes my sphincter to relax, and all kinds of bad stuff happens, and my stomach acid gets pushed into my esophagus, and I struggle with that. The second change I had to make was my lifestyle change, the way I eat. I know I have this problem, and I know there is no, I'm not willing to let someone cut me open, and I'm not willing to take medication for long terms. So the only change I could make was a lifestyle change. Um, I'll talk about that a little bit later. The second cause, the hiatus hernia one, now that's a different one. That's actually your diaphragm that's ripped and your upper part of your stomach being pushed into your thorax. Now the main two treatments, most people don't even have issues if this happens, but there are those that do have problems when this happens. Now again, the first one is lifestyle, weight loss. If you need to lose weight, you need to eat different to treat this, to get it to go away. And the second one is surgery, which my dad had. He had this problem and he had surgery done, and it worked wonderful for him. But unfortunately, he was one of the few that it did work wonderful for. My uncle had the same surgery and he has only had trouble with that. So it really does depend on the doctor that you go to. So if you do opt for surgery, then make sure that you go to a very good surgeon. And that's the causes and the two types of acid reflux that you, or the two types of causes that you get when you get acid reflux. How did I stop my acid reflux? My first problem was stress, and the quickest solution I found to that was to smile. Smile a lot and smile genuine. The second one was wheat flour, specifically the white kind. The brown kind is better, but don't eat too much of it. It's got the tendency to really cause your stomach to feel bloated, and that just adds to your acid reflux. And the third one was sugar. Now, I don't have too much of a problem with sugar. I'm not too much of a sweet tooth. But if you do have to eat sugar, eat the dark chocolate, like, the one that's got 80% dark chocolate in it, that kind. The fourth one, for me, but made a big difference for me, was eat natural, wholesome food, like lots of green vegetables. Fifth one, eat little bits of food many times during the day. Don't eat like big 3 times a day meals. Make your 3 times a day big meals a bit smaller and keep your body working. Then your acid reflux goes away. Also, eat your breakfast. Don't skip on breakfast. That's very, very important. Eat a good breakfast. Don't eat like a bagel or a piece of toast or anything like that. Eat a decent, strong breakfast. Natural breakfast, of course. Smoking. Big problem for many people. We all agree smoking is not good for you. Smoke less. If that's a problem, at least smoke less. When I started smoking and stopped smoking, that made a big, big difference for me. Now, as you can see, a lot of this stuff is lifestyle orientated, and I had to take a holistic approach to stopping my acid reflux. I used medication. I went for scopes, all that stuff, and at the end of the day, what really worked for me is the holistic approach to start changing the way I live. That made the biggest difference for me. My acid reflux is basically gone since I've made these changes.